Hello, everybody. Drew Dosek here with Verified Investing. Today, we're going to go over 5 charts of commodities. And so let's jump into some of the biggest and heavily traded commodities in the marketplace. First off, let's take a look at U.S. oil. This one has been dominating the headlines, guys, obviously because of the Middle East tensions and the Strait of Hormuz closure. And that's really disrupting oil services and distribution throughout the entire world, predominantly on the eastern side of the world, Europe as well as Far East. And so as you see here, though, on U.S. oil's chart today, even with an announcement from Marco Rubio that the war in Iran was over, U.S. oil is still pushing up higher, up only slightly, 0.85% on the day. But you can see we're trading in the top half of yesterday's price action, which did get a bounce from these nice declining days. And those that do know, guys, I'll just take this moment to illustrate. This is a time count right here. We were due for a bounce, even though we didn't touch the support level. We got so very close. This is a time count that I go over in my educational course, Mastering the Overnight Trade. This could give you an idea and insight as to a bounce being expected. Now, so far, that bounce has already played out, currently into resistance on this one big red candle on May 27th. We have not yet gotten above that candle and closed. Now, with good news coming out of the Middle East, you would anticipate price coming down further. First stop, if the support does get tagged, is 85.81. But say we have a full opening of the straight, we likely are going to head straight down to 78.97 first. Keep in mind, it's not going to be a straight all the way down to sub $60 or $70. It's likely going to bounce in these support areas simply because a lot of countries have already gotten rid of their reserves for oil, and they were doing so to help try to put a cap on the price increases at the gas pump for their citizens. So we're going to have several different countries reloading their national reserves of oil, which likely will keep U.S. oil prices elevated for at least a couple months after the full opening of the strait. Now, should we have conflict reemerge in that area, you can anticipate U.S. oil pushing up to 107.48, followed by 111.71. Next up, into nat gas. Nat gas, as you see here, has had several attempts now trying to get back in to this blue parallel channel that you see on the chart. I'll back out to the weekly time frame to show you where this parallel originates. This started all the way back here in February of 2024. It's contained price to the upside, as well as started leaking price to the bottom. But this bottom end of the parallel, even though price is broken, still gives us a boatload of information. As you see how when price has broken the bottom of the parallel, nat gas has made several attempts to get back up inside that parallel. Most recently, since March, all of those attempts have failed. So now we find ourselves again separating from that parallel. If you're a bull on nat gas, you want to see price today, try to get up and close somewhere in the 50% area of this green candle, basically around $3.19. If we can do that, that maintains upper 50% consolidation from this move up, and then that could reattack the bottom of this parallel, which is currently resistance at $3.31. Once inside the parallel, next resistance, $3.58. If this continues to fail right here, the support and major test for and then reattack up will be down here at $2.90. A break of 290 then gets us back into bearish consolidation mode, as that's what we did back here in April 8th all the way over until May 1st, and then when we broke above this trend line. So that's really the line in the sand to designate more bearish downside pressure, but ultimately you want the probabilities to stay in your favor if you're a bull. That's why I highlighted you want to see price close today around $3.19 or higher to then reattack that parallel. Next up, we got some metals. We got gold to start off with. Now, gold, as you see here, a big bear flag followed by another bear flag on the chart of gold. Hasn't been able to get out of the woods with this bearish consolidation. Still jockeying around this minor support level of $4,494. To the downside, next support, this one's going to be very minor since we did have price touch this area on Thursday. That will be the bottom of the parallel. That's about $4,372. I'm anticipating if we have any selling, we're likely going to break this since we've been consolidating so close to the bottom of the parallel channel. And we're likely coming to the next support, sub $4,200 at $4,189. Education-wise, let me flip on the simple moving averages. And you can see here what's very interesting is that the daily 50 moving average has so far been holding down price ever since this push up on the charts that concluded on April 17th. Now, this downward pressure wasn't around on the top when we did form the first bear flag, but notice how this daily moving average is caught up and is now being one of the driving factors to hold price down. Now, here we can see this 200 moving average in red coming up, creating in essence a wedge pattern, squeezing price at the current location, which is very critical. As you see, upside resistance is not far away. Downside support, basically just above this parallel, is also not that far away. So we're going to come to a head in the next several trading days of whether we're going to break above or start to break down below on the chart of gold. Next up on silver. Silver, as you see here, putting in very similar pattern as gold. Nice bear flag followed by another bear flag, but this bear flag didn't go down as far. And if we compare it with the simple moving averages, the 50 moving average, yes, it is above current price, but it wasn't above this most recent rally. So this does demonstrate that silver near term was actually a little bit stronger pushing up. And you know what? This makes sense, guys. Silver is more of an industrial metal. So when the markets are pushing up to all-time highs, silver is likely going to stay elevated a little bit longer than gold. In addition, silver is used in a lot of build-outs for these computer chips. So you do have a demand there for silver, at least for the manufacturing side. But near term, this is a nasty bear flag. I still am waiting for silver to drop down sub $56 to pick up some physical supply of silver. Now, we could be going much lower than that, but I'm just waiting for price to break this trend line. This trend line is currently at $71.90, and then we should be having a decent fall down here to the 50% area, the parallel, right around $58.40, followed by $55.09. Lastly, guys, we're going to get into copper. You see here, I got copper on the weekly time frame here on this chart, mainly to highlight the fact that we have a massive weekly topping tail in play here from May 11th. But you see here, price this week is trying to negate that. So keep this on your radar. Now, this is a copper future contract chart. Notice this $6.72 topping tail on the weekly chart. In order to negate this bearish signal, we would need to get a weekly close above $6.72.84. All right, so we need to have a little bit more of a push up, and then we can start opening up more upside potential on this chart of copper. Well, then in that case, where is it going to go? Because you see, I've got an inclining yellow trend line that's been holding down price ever since this pivot was created back in January of 2023. That's held it down here, this pivot here on May 24th, and also this pivot here on July of 2025. Then we pierced it, and then see, we've come back up and attacked it. And guys, I love this chart because you've got so many different elements of technical analysis. A failed breakout here. What happens on a failed breakout? Massive move in the opposite direction. Then we had another push up here, a little failed breakout here. But notice we consolidated, establishing ourselves here. So it wasn't as big as a drop, but we still did drop, regained the top of the parallel to continue to push higher. Now we're in a situation where we may be negating this topping tail. So really neat to walk through this process, see the battle that copper's had going up on the charts and all mapping it out with this one simple parallel channel. Now, what happens now that when price gets above, we need to find another parallel channel, or at least another combination of levels and or trend lines to try to give us a gauge to the next level of resistance. Well, all I do there is create a parallel from pivot to pivot. And I know price pierced this in this area, and it pierced it here in this area too, but we still capture the bottom of the pivot here on the week of July of 2025 price action. So let me delete this other parallel so that I now show you this one. This one has behaved very well on the way up, keeping price above the top 50% before a quick dip, and then a rally back up near the top of the parallel channel. So even if we do close above this topping tail on the weekly time frame, our resistance for copper is not far away. Right here at $6.80. Be expecting the brakes to be put on there for at least a little while and likely lead to consolidation. If you're a bull on copper, you want to see that consolidation stay above this inclining trend line that we highlighted. That would create a bull flag and then would build the momentum to allow for more upside on this chart. Interesting chart here on copper, no doubt about it. All right, guys, that concludes today's videos, Pro Charts with Commodities. Again, my name is Drew Dosek. Thanks you so much for watching this video. We've got plenty of other Pro Chart videos right here on our homepage. Enjoy them. They're all free and complimentary, all great insights from each one of the pro traders here at Verified Investing. Again, thanks so much for watching. Until next time, folks, we'll see you right here on the charts. Take care, folks.